Hey, rural thrivers and shapers. Today I want to talk to you about something boring, and that's data security. Like your logins to all those different apps you use, and your email, and your documents and files, and all your private and personal information that you might have for whatever reason. If you're a community and economic development organization, you might have sensitive information from businesses you're working with, or from renters, or from borrowers if you're lending money to projects. Um, and sometimes it's easy to think that because we're these small little organizations, we're just doing good community development, economic development work. We're not a target because we're not worth it to the bad guys. But unfortunately, the opposite is probably true. We might be a great target for the bad guys to get into our stuff and do bad things because they assume we're not ready for them. Okay? So let's be ready. Um, let's do the boring stuff. Like, make sure you have two-factor authentication set up for all your logins, especially your email. People can do so much damage if they get into your email. Okay? That means in order to log in, besides entering your password, you also need to have on your phone a text, or better yet, a separate authenticator application that pops up a number that has to match. Sounds tedious and annoying, I know, but it's worth it. Other things like the way you share and save files. When you share them, be sure that you are encrypting them with something that is not the same as your email account, right? Somebody has to go into another application to get that file from you. And never ever enter your login information to anything through an email link. If you get a link asking you to go log in somewhere, just go to that site instead of clicking that link. If you need to go log into, let's say, Basecamp, that's a app that we use a lot. Go to basecamp.com and log in instead of clicking through a link to log into Basecamp. Again, simple, pain in the butt kind of thing, boring unless it's not. Avoid having that day, that terrible day, where you didn't do the boring stuff and now you have a disaster. Because it can happen. I promise you it can happen. I promise you that us small community economic development organizations, we are a target for the bad guys. So don't let them win. Keep them out of your stuff. Make sure all your passwords are different in every single login, and make sure that they're nothing anyone could ever guess, right? And if you're using a password manager, be sure and use that very carefully. Make sure you're using two-factor authentication to log into things. Make sure when you're sharing files or when you're receiving files from someone else, you know who they're coming from. It's even better to just pick up the phone and call. Say, hey, did you just send me this, before I click on it and open it? Be safe. Be boring. Even if it's annoying. We can do this, all right? Keep out the bad guys, rural thrivers.